Okay, let's dive right in. When you're managing a network, you're constantly moving files around. It's a basic, fundamental task. But how you do it, well, that really matters. Today, we're going to look at two of the oldest messengers out there, TFTP and FTP. They both get the job done, but, they operate in completely different ways. And their age, well, it comes with some pretty serious gotchas we need to talk about. Okay, picture this. It's a Tuesday afternoon, and your main router just dies. Total silence. Panic starts to creep in, right? You've got a backup of the configuration, thank goodness, but now you have to get it onto the replacement device, and you need to do it like yesterday. This is where knowing your tools isn't just helpful, it's absolutely critical. The choice you make right here, in this moment, could be the difference between a 5-minute fix and a full-blown outage. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why these file transfers are such a big deal in the first place. Then, we'll get to know our two protocols. TFTP, the no-frills courier, and FTP, the more reliable shipper. We'll put them head-to-head, and then, most importantly, we'll figure out how to choose the right one for the job. Sound good? Let's go. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of how it all works, let's just take a second to talk about the why. Think about the configuration files in the operating systems on your network gear. It's basically their DNA. It's what makes them work. And protocols like TFTP and FTP, well, they're the tools we use to back up that DNA, to restore it when things go wrong, or to upgrade it. They are, quite literally, the lifeline for keeping a network healthy and alive. First up, we've got TFTP. That's Trivial File Transfer Protocol. And honestly, the name says it all. It's trivial. Think of it like a local courier. It's designed to be super lightweight, super fast, and incredibly simple for these very specific, no-frills jobs you need to do inside your own network. But there's always a but, right? That simplicity, it comes with a pretty big catch. So the whole idea behind TFTP is its simplicity. It's what we call connectionless. Its main reason for existing is to just quickly blast those essential files, like your router configs or iOS images, across a local network that you already trust. It's built for speed and raw efficiency, not for complexity or security. Okay, now this breaks it all down. It runs on something called UDP, which is kind of like sending a postcard. You just write it, drop it in the mail, and hope it gets there. There's no tracking, there's no authentication, no username, no password, nothing. And here's the real kicker, the big red flag for today's world. Everything is sent in clear text. Still, it's super lightweight, which makes it perfect for simple devices in a very trusted environment. All right, now let's switch gears and meet our other protocol, FTP. If TFTP is that simple courier, then FTP, or File Transfer Protocol, is more like a certified, reliable shipping company. It's more formal, way more robust, and it's packed with features designed for dependability. And this right here shows the huge difference. FTP is a complete, session-oriented protocol. The keywords you gotta remember are reliable and connection-oriented. It doesn't just blindly send the data. It actually sets up a formal conversation between the two devices first to make absolutely sure everything gets there safe and sound. And here's the proof. FTP runs on TCP, which is like sending a package with tracking and requiring a signature on delivery. It even uses two different channels or ports, one for the commands and one for the actual data. And most importantly, it requires you to log in with a username and password. This whole process, the famous three-wave handshake, makes it super reliable. But as we're about to see, that password isn't nearly as secure as it sounds. All right, we've met our two messengers. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's put them side by side in the ring and see how they really stack up against each other. This is the protocol face-off. This table just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got our courier, TFTP, uses UDP, has zero authentication, and offers really basic reliability. It's built for those quick and dirty internal jobs. Then on the right, our shipper, FTP, uses TCP, demands a username and password, and gives you that high reliability. It's your choice for more general, formal file transfers where you need that little bit of extra control. Okay, so all this theory is great, but let's get back to our emergency. That router is still down. How does this all apply in the real world? Let's get practical and walk through exactly how you'd use these tools to back up a router's configuration. So let's say you're on a secure private network, like your lab at work, and you just need to quickly save a config file. TFTP is your best friend here. Its biggest selling point is just how unbelievably simple it is. It's designed to be a fast, fire-and-forget command that just gets the job done with zero fuss. And I mean, just look how easy this is. You hop on the router, you tell it, hey, Copy your running configuration to a TFTP server. It asks you 2 questions. What's the server's address? And what do you want to call the file? That's it. Boom. Done. Your backup is safe. It's so elegant in its simplicity. Okay, but what if you need a little more control? Maybe you want to make sure only certain people can save files. FTP gives you that by requiring a login. But that feature doesn't come for free. You have to do a little bit of prep work on the router before you can even start the transfer. It's a trade-off, a little more work for a little more control. So here's how it works with FTP. See, it's a 2-step process. First, you have to configure the router itself with the username and password that the FTP server is going to ask for. Only after you've done that can you run the copy command. It looks pretty similar to the TFTP one, but it's all happening in a much more controlled, authenticated way. And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. This is the exact error you'll get if you try to use FTP like it's TFTP, if you forget to set up those credentials first. The network just slams the door shut and says, permission denied. It perfectly shows their core difference. FTP needs to know who you are. TFTP just trusts you're supposed to be there. But for all their differences, they share one massive, glaring weakness. A weakness that's a huge deal in the modern world. Both TFTP and FTP send every single bit of data in clear, unencrypted text. Anyone listening on the network can see it all. And for FTP, this includes the username and password. It's like shouting your login details across a crowded room. So what's the big takeaway here? It's really all about using the right tool for the right job. And just as importantly, understanding the risks that come with it. TFTP is awesome for quick, lightweight tasks inside a network you already know is secure. FTP is your go-to when you need that TCP reliability and a basic username/password check, as long as you keep its massive security flaw in mind. And that really brings us to our final thought. I mean, these protocols are workhorses. They've been the bedrock of network management for decades. But in a world where security is everything, you have to ask yourself, is sending your network's most sensitive secrets, your configs, your passwords, out in the open, ever really a safe bet? It's a question that really pushes us to look beyond these old tools and toward more modern, secure alternatives.